The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 welcomes you to Meridian's favorite TV personalities and three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Debbie, and it is Thursday, and it's kind of almost like what we would call game day, according to the National Weather Service.
It is game day. It's going to be a rough day out there. It looks like parts of Tennessee, they're already getting hit pretty hard.
It is. As a matter of fact, as you bring that up, let's pull up a radar for everybody to take a look at this. As we go to Meridian Honda radar, we pull this up. This is Jackson, Tennessee, which is due north of us, and we're already showing that we have lots of rain up in here. Now, earlier this morning, about 2 hours ago, Debbie, we had one tornado warning that was issued in this area. No damage, but it was radar indicated. As we back out, right now, all we have is a tornado watch, including the extreme northwestern Delta area right up to Memphis and those areas. Will this probably change later? Yes, this will expire around 11, but there'll be more throughout the day.
Right, and so the timeline now for bad weather in our immediate area, or I guess in our area, Hattiesburg and north of us, is from 11 until 7 now. Yeah,
let's pull this up from the National Weather Service so you can get a good, clear picture of what this is. 11 until 7 p.m. If you live east of, right outside of where the Bass Pro Shop is, anywhere east of there into Alabama, is going to be from 11 until 7. They draw the line at the Alabama line and they change it to noon, but our area 11 until 7 p.m.
Yeah, and I'm thinking most of that's going to be around the 11 o'clock is going to be Hattiesburg and things like that. And then 12 o'clock, it's going to start moving closer to us.
So to the south, keep that in mind. Around 11 o'clock to the south of us, we'll start seeing storms develop and then just kind of worsen throughout the afternoon. Should exit by 6:30 is what we're...
I hope so. And I hope, they're saying some pretty serious tornadoes and damaging winds and
long track tornadoes.
Hail damage. So try to have a place to go by about 11:30. Maybe be in your little area that you're going to try to stay in during the storms because anything can change from 11 to 1 o'clock.
And I say this a lot, and I want to remind everybody, when I start talking about today, wear hard-sole shoes. And why should you wear hard-sole shoes? In case your home, your business was hit by a tornado, there would be nails everywhere, and you want something to where it would not puncture your shoes. And I know it's corny looking, but, it's the new sexy when tornadoes are around is a football helmet. Keep one of those handy, put one on your head, because that is what kills more people than anything is being thrown and your neck broken or your head injury. And I know it sounds corny and it looks funny, but in the time of need, it's really sexy.
No, I don't do the football helmet, but I do have to, because I do have a place to go for tornado. But I never really thought about the shoe thing until you started bringing it up 100 years ago. And now I do try to put shoes on. Now, of course, in the middle of the night, that's where I'd be caught.
It's best to sleep in them.
I'd be that fool on TV going, no telling what I'm wearing. Like the time we were interviewed in July, and I was wearing my Christmas pajamas.
Well, that just happens.
That thing would happen, yeah.
But it's one of those things of just preparing. And as I've mentioned this before, when a warning is issued, know what you're going to do. Don't wait till that warning goes off and you go, well, where do I go? Where's my mama? Where can I go? Right. Have a plan. Know how long it takes you to get to where you're going. If you live in a mobile home, do not stay there if a warning is issued. It will become like a toothpick.
Because these are bad storms today.
Yes.
These are going to be bad storms. It might not hit you today, but it might hit your neighbor. Or it could possibly hit you. So, they've been tracking this since last week.
And the National Weather Service does not put things out for a week and talk about it unless it's at the serious level. We're at a 3 out of a 5 if you're on the scale there. And in a little bit, we're going to give you the rundown of all the area places that are going to be turning out early today. We'll go over that in just a little bit. So you'll be up to date on all of that and know who's getting out early. I don't think anything's going to change when it comes to the timeline. Most schools are letting out 11:30 or 12. Right. Now, the National Weather Service has moved this back 1 hour. I don't think the schools will change. If they do, we'll let you know. And update you on all of that.
So right now, most of the schools are letting out, what, 11:30?
11:30 to 12 is when most of them. We've got Kemper Academy, we got Kemper County schools not even going today, and a few like that. But we'll go over that complete list here in just a little bit.
Okay.
So what happened overnight last night? It was tragic, folks, around 4 a.m. this morning. Here it happened. He got off his beaten path, and we all know him. He's kind of like a superstar in North Hills, naked man. He loves to run up and down the road with no clothes on. But he ventured outside of his area, and he made it over to Royal Road, an area which, if you look at somebody wrong, you could get kind of, well, shot at. Well, he did it. He ran through the neighborhood naked, and they commenced to chasing him at 4 this morning. He was last seen rounding the corner at 47th Avenue, at least 3 car lengths in front of him. He is the fastest thing on 2 feet in Meridian. They cannot catch him.
It just blows my mind. So they didn't catch him?
No, they did not. He outran them all. Here he is as they were pointing it out. Police showed up, and he was hoofing it. He had on a pair of socks, as usual.
And that's it?
That's it. Socks. That's all he likes to wear.
That's crazy.
But that's pretty brave.
We don't know if this is the same. You don't know.
It could be an imposter, but the description kind of matched him. I didn't get any photographic evidence this morning at 4.
Yeah.
But the neighbors didn't take kindly to this.
It's kind of like the naked cowboy in New York City.
Yeah.
It's
this one
never
doesn't
the
wear
same.
underwear.
I've been there several times, and the naked cowboy's never the same person.
Changes up a
Just
little
imposters,
bit there.
yeah.
But he likes to run in the nude, and he's real popular here. Man, he's outran everybody so far. So just to update you on the latest from Naked Man. Now, we did have some activity last night. Let's go to 19th Street. No one was hurt, but we did have more gunfire last night as gunshots were reported in this general area. We've had a lot right here. Again, no one was hurt, no one was injured on 19th Street, but it was the sound of gunfire. That was not the only place that we had it last night. 11th Street, we would have more gunfire taking place in that area. On 19th Street, it was reported somewhere between 7 to 8 rounds fired. Over at 11th Street was around 3 rounds that were fired. Most likely someone shooting up in the air, but thankfully no one was hurt. Now, as we went into investigation mode last night, we got a tip late that, hey, something happened in Newton earlier in the week.
I know some people in Newton that were saying that there was a lot of shooting going on in Newton. So you reached out to him.
Yes, and we spoke with the chief of police there. And what has happened there, it was a car chase. People were sitting in their home. Around the corner come a red Mercedes-Benz, hauling britches. The next thing you know, long guns were hanging out the window, shots were fired, a car was struck, and a home was hit. The car kept going. The police were called. The chief of police car was hit by them. They did catch the gentleman. He was arrested on Monday night. His name was Donovan Cortez Gray. He was arrested as a suspect in the shooting. As we were finishing the story last night of getting this loaded, I got another message. Gunfire just happened.
What is in the I guess in the little downtown area?
Yes.
Yeah.
South Main Street is where the shots were fired last night. Now, I reached back out to the police. They're going to update me as soon as they have full details on this. But I also got I don't know what's going on in Newton. It's busy. But I got a note that said since September, and it's somebody in the neighborhood that's been keeping up with this. You know how you keep up with your betting habits?
Yeah.
Since September, somewhere around 33 times there's been shots fired in the city limits of Newton.
So who is this doing all of this shooting?
They're folks that need to be taken away.
Yeah.
That's the best I can tell you.
And that's a very small downtown.
Yeah, and as I spoke to different people last night, and this is where it gets concerning, they go, look, I'm not sure I want to live in the city limits anymore. It has reached that point to where I feel like I need to move.
Yeah.
And
well, I know that a person that I saw, they had children, grandparents, their sister, all of them in a house, and somebody just drove down the road randomly shooting and shot at the house.
Correct.
Which, actually hit the house, which, that's pretty scary right there.
Yeah,
and they're not a target. They're just randomly shooting.
And what do you say to all of this? Now, we've got a lot more going on in the community that we're going to be telling you about here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to change the tone here in just a moment there as we start talking about some charities and some good... What we got...
Wait a minute, you got to hold on. The Naked Man came to Meridian, Mississippi and stayed at the Holiday Inn Express when I was working. Wait a minute. Is that the same Naked Man? Winnie, do tell.
That sounds like a professional naked man, because this naked man...
Oh, she's talking about the naked cowboy.
There you go.
But Winnie, I'm going to tell you, there are hundreds of naked cowboys. If they say they're from New York City and they're the naked cowboy, because we had him on the radio one time. Remember?
Right,
we interviewed him. And then when I went to New York City, I was like, that's not the same dude.
And he makes a lot of money off of it.
I was like, you're not even the same dude from the last one. So, yeah, they make a lot of money off of that.
And also, we'll talk about the accident that happened that involved children running into a house last night in the southeast area. I just got an update from Ward Calhoun. We'll tell you all about that in a minute. But Dan Darrington is going to be our special guest in just a moment to talk about charities and the art of giving and what they do for the community, the Downtown Optimist Club. Some great folks. We'll be right back with Dan, and we'll learn some more together.
Thanks.
If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
And welcome back, Scotty Ray and Debbie, as we start this morning. It is Thursday. I hope everybody's got a smile. You've had a cup of coffee, and it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself.
Oh.
It really does. It's an attitude adjustment.
I'm sorry, Winnie.
What?
She said he was not an imposter.
Oh, it was the real.
The naked cowboy was not an imposter. Okay.
Thankfully, I've never run up on that. And JT Rigdon says, Debbie, look to your left, and I don't know what he means by that.
Look to my left?
Yes.
This.
It'd be TV left. It would be stage right. It's kind of opposite.
Why do you want me to look to my left?
I was wearing a cowboy hat. He was making a joke.
Oh.
As we welcome.
That just went.
Right over your head there.
Yeah.
All right. Our special guest this morning, Dan Darrington. I think everybody knows Dan. Dan, how in the world are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing fine. I hadn't been out here in the dark before. I just about missed this place, but I'm glad I finally made it.
I just have to say it. Dan, the mortgage man.
Thank you.
Dan, how long have you been a banker in Meridian?
I moved to Meridian in 1993, and that's all I've been doing. So I've been here 30 years.
So at some point, a lot of people have come across your day. Even I have.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I enjoyed making you a loan. I wish you hadn't paid it off. We like earning interest off of it.
I was going to say, I did sell real estate for years for Winstead Realty, and I'm sure Dan, I probably waited on Dan that 30-day period for somebody to have their loan approved. Dan was very vital in any kind of transaction that we had, so
thank you.
We appreciate it.
Dan, you do lots of things, and you're a member of the Downtown Optimist Club, and boy, y'all help a lot of people in our area.
Well, and that's why I'm here today. I've been a member of the Optimist Club, the Downtown Optimist Club, about 15 years. Next Tuesday, this Tuesday, February 21st, we're having our 76th annual Optimist Pancake Jubilee. This is our main fundraiser. It's at the Temple Theater. All the profits that we earn get reinvested into the community. Optimist Club motto is Friend of Youth, and everything we do is geared toward helping the youth of our community. We help a lot of agencies, and it's a good time to come get a good meal.
Now, tell me,
sausage.
How many would you guess pancakes are made in a day's time? In past, what do you think it is?
Well, we probably burn about 25% of them, so it's kind of hard to say.
Do you even put the ugly ones on on the plate?
We
You
do. When we're running low, in heavy time, we put a lot. I think the last few years, we've probably served about 2,500 to 3,000, depending on the weather and so forth.
Right.
So it's always a big crowd.
That's plates.
That's correct. That's correct.
Plates, not just pancakes.
Yeah, that's correct. We've served about 2,500 to 3,000 people, and we start at 6:30 in the morning. We open up at 6:30. We get there about 4 in the morning, but we start about 6:30. We don't finish till 7 o'clock. You can come eat breakfast, lunch, brunch, snack in the afternoon.
Right.
A lot of people get to go plates, and a lot of people eat there.
Now, for the folks that are listening, where does this money go? Because I know you said you help some people, but
Yeah.
what do they actually do with it? What is done with the funds?
We've got about 20 people in our annual budget. I know we help the Boys and Girls Club, Boy Scouts, junior golf. We help buy a lot of Christmas gifts for agencies that help deserving kids around Christmas time, Cans for Kids, just a number of different agencies, some, the Carter Foundation. Everything is geared toward helping the youth of our community. Everything we do, we wish we could solve the world's problem. We can't solve them, but we can put a dent in it.
That's right, and you're doing it for the Meridian area. You're putting a
that's
dent
correct.
in the Meridian area, which is big.
Yeah,
so.
everything stays in the local area. We help local agencies. It's just we run the Crestwood T-ball field. That helps financially, but the Pancake Jubilee is our main fundraiser.
Yeah, and if you're saying you do 2,500 to 2,700, that is a huge fundraiser.
Yeah. By the time we pay all our expenses, we hope to net $10,000 to $12,000. And that gets plowed back in the community. That we don't. I mean, basically, we just cover our expenses, but we don't. It's all volunteer. We don't have any paid staff, so we're just glad to be able to help out. One thing I like about this, that we've been doing it so long, there are a lot of people. I know as a banker, I work at Great Southern Bank, and we always try to take some tickets to realtors. And I've been doing this for so many years. It's kind of like, oh yes, that time of year, we here comes Dan with some free tickets for some free pancakes and stuff. So it's a good way to kind of show our appreciation to them. But
and it is a good way. I mean, if you do have a business and you have a lot of office workers or employees or whatever, this is a great time to treat them all and know that it's going to a good cause. Because if you pre-buy the tickets, you get them for $6, right?
That's correct. We were at $5 for so many years, and of course, inflation's caused our price to go up. So we did have to raise our tickets this year $1. But for $6, all you can eat pancakes, sausage, and drink. That's not a bad deal.
No,
that's if you get your tickets before the day of the event. At the door, it's $7. But $7 still is not a bad deal.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
It's a great way. A lot of people they'll buy them for breakfast with office staff. We've got one particular law firm. They'll come down. They come down about 4:30 and say, "Hey, y'all reserve our table in the back." They several of them come and eat at the end of the day. So it's kind of like a family reunion. You sort of see the same group of people coming at certain times of the day. But
I was going to say that's got to be some great fellowship in there with all the business people and everybody coming in, families coming in to enjoy.
So is there an art to doing a pancake?
Oh, yeah, there's an art.
Is it a certain way you got to do it?
I mean, nobody does that.
Well, if you're new at it, you might mess up a few pancakes, but after a while, you kind of get the gist of it.
If you do this, they probably will fire you, and even though you're not even a paid employee.
I don't know a whole lot about it.
It's all this.
The on-the-job training is very short.
It's hard to get fired.
Let me ask this, Dan, of somebody that's listening and go, well, I like the sound of the Downtown Optimist Club. What would they do to join up with y'all to start being a volunteer and working with y'all's little organization? What do you got to do?
Well, first off, they let me in, so we'll take anybody. We meet every Tuesday at the Western Sizzling restaurant on the frontage road next to South Forward.
I knew that.
We meet every Tuesday at noon. Basically,
buffet.
You just fill out an application. Dues are pretty reasonable. Your dues go to pay your meal expense. We have a speaker every week. It's a great place. Sometime you can make it, sometime you can't. But call me at Great Southern Bank. I can email you an application.
That's good.
But, I knew that about the Western Sizzling. I used to go there with a girl. She always wanted to go to Western Sizzling for lunch. Years ago, and every time we would go, I would see the Optimist Club back there. So
they've got the best fried chicken in town. I think everybody likes their fried chicken.
I think they've got some great food.
Here's a a list. If you're thinking, well, I don't know how to get tickets, here's a list of some places that you can get it. Barry Thagard, May Law Firm, Choctaw Boy Scouts, Citizens Bank, Eastgate and Collinsville, The Clean Plate, Great Southern National, Jeffrey Wilson, Quality PC of Meridian, or you can email Dan.
That's right. Give me a call.
Yeah.
We can't thank you enough, Dan, for coming in this morning and being a part of this. We certainly appreciate you letting us, and you'll come back next week before it all kicks off?
Monday morning, remind everybody.
And just go ahead and get your tickets now. $6 now, $7 at the door. And like you said, they could give you a call.
At Great Southern, I'm at the New
Southern.
Lakes branch, or they can go on dtoc.org. That's our website. Why go on a website to order tickets when you can give me a call at the bank?
There you go.
That's right.
Well, Dan, thanks again, and we will see you again next week.
That sounds good.
Temple Theater is where this is going to be next week. I hope everybody will have a chance to drop
On
in.
Tuesday, the 21st.
All right. Dan, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Dan Darrington again joining us this morning. As I mentioned a moment ago, let me pull this up and show you this. We had an accident last night to where a car struck a home. And let me pull this up and show you this. And I just got more notes as we pulled this up here. This is what happened last night. And Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun sent us this message here just a moment ago. It says, last night at approximately at 10:30, in the 800 block of the Hall Road, a single vehicle crash occurred. The vehicle left the roadway and struck a residence. The vehicle was occupied by the driver and 3 children. All 4 were transported by Metro ambulance to a local hospital. The driver and one of the children were then airlifted to Jackson for additional care. The Sheriff's Department is currently investigating the circumstances involving the crash, and we do not know what that was.
I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah.
I hate it when children are involved. And I hate it for anybody to be involved, especially children. Bye, Dan. Dan, the mortgage man, is leaving the building.
We do pray and hope everything turns out okay with this. That is the very latest that we have on this wreck this morning as we dig deeper into this.
Yeah. Hey, Roy T. Ellis
What's Roy up
said,
to?
thank you, Scotty Ray, for being so generous and putting out the information about the family that lost everything due to a fire. They said the donations are coming in. People are really being great with it, very generous. So, and I'm sure that they could still use help. It's on the Scotty Ray Report Facebook page if you want to see sizes and where to send money.
Yeah, I really and truly, and we all know this, there's not a single person watching this right now, whether you're looking at your phone, if you're watching from home, that this could happen to you.
Oh, yeah.
You never know when you'll be that person on the other end of this that, well, needs
To lose
a little...
everything.
Yeah.
No clothes, no food, no nothing. Whatever you were standing there with is what you have. And that's tough to replace, and especially while you're in the shock of losing everything.
And again, I don't think this family had insurance on the home on top of all of that. So keep them in your thoughts, and all the giving is certainly appreciated there. Excuse me there. That just come out of nowhere, Debbie. Let's talk about what happened on Knox Road yesterday. Have you ever, because I know you've been involved in several incidents, Debbie, to where you've bumped a few things with a car. Have you ever flipped one? This is Knox Road.
Not like that. I haven't flipped one like that, but I rolled into a ditch sideways.
Yes, you
Not
did.
flipped.
The excursion on
The
its side.
excursion, sideways.
This
In a
would
ditch.
definitely be a scary thing. And this can also happen if you run off the edge of the road. A car can go upside down quickly. I don't think any
That would be
major injuries
terrifying.
with that.
Terrifying to be flipped upside down. Now, my daughter's been in accidents twice where she flipped a car.
And she turned out
Twice.
okay also. Twice?
Yeah, twice.
Boy, insurance loves you after that. Boy.
Yeah.
We had a little incident yesterday in Collinsville. It would be most likely, and we'll put it this way, to where a brake and, well, the gas pedal probably got confused. As well, the dentist's office got a new exit.
Oh, yeah, that happened yesterday morning.
Yeah, right across from
But
Tyson's.
nobody was injured. That's good.
But
That has to be scary, though, for all of us. I mean, you just hear a car, bam, into your building.
Right. I think it's going to be okay, but there is a big blue tarp on the building now.
Now, speaking of that, I did, the day I got my driver's license, when I was, I guess back then you had to be like 14, 15. I don't even know how old it was, but I drove
14
up.
when I got mine.
I'd already been driving since I was 13, whenever I got by myself. But anyway, that was in Tennessee, and I went to my mom's work, and I was going to show her going, because I don't even know. She didn't have to go with me or anything. That was back in the old days, back in the carriage days or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, I drove up to bragging about my license and ran into a pole.
Oops.
Yes.
That's what
that
you
was
get for
day
bragging,
one
right?
of my driver's license. But I didn't hit it too hard. I just
Kind of tapped.
it.
There's a difference between hitting and
My
tapping.
mother was just like, oh, God.
It's her again.
I was the fourth one to get a license, but I was the first girl. 3 boys already. She was already done.
I bet so.
Yeah.
All right, let's turn our thoughts. As we mentioned a moment ago, there's going to be some area closings today with schools. Now, if you've got a business that's letting out early, we also want to hear from you. As of right now, we have no businesses. Everything is schools as we pull this up so far. And again, added to this list that we got just a little bit ago is Kemper Academy added to this also.
Okay, on this list for today, we've got Enterprise School releases at 1. Kemper School's closed completely today. Meridian Public School District Elementary releases at 12:30. Secondary releases at 1. Lauderdale County Schools releases at 12. Meridian Community College releases at 12:30. Russell Christian Academy lined up at 11:45, and the rest of the campus will dismiss at noon. Holland Baptist Daycare releases at 12:30. Newton County Schools 11:30. Let's see. University Charter School in Livingston closed today. East Central Community College noon release. Northcrest Preschool releases at 12. Carpool begins at 11:45. Barbara Henson Daycare releases at 12. Daddy's Hands Daycare releases at 12. Enterprise School District releases at 1.
Quitman High School will release at 11 o'clock. Quitman Upper Elementary and the junior high will do 11 also. Now, the Quitman Lower Elementary will dismiss at 10:30. University of West Alabama at 11 o'clock. St. Patrick's School will release at 12 noon today. UWA is closed 11 today. Dreams Come True Child Care Center releases at 12. Barbara Henson will release at 12. Poplar Springs United Methodist releasing at 12. Pentecostal Christian Academy releasing at 12:30. And West Kemper Kitty College closed today.
Okay, let me just go back to the University of West Alabama. They're closed from 11 until 5, and I'm sure classes resume after 5.
Gotcha. Okay. After the bad weather comes in. Now, that is the closings that we have so far. If you've got an additional one, please inbox us. Let us know. As we're looking online here, you can post it here. We could do it live here if you've got something that's going to be changing. Again, our bad weather at this point is lining up to be 11 until 7 p.m. this afternoon.
Be prepared. Just try to have your place to be at about 11:30, because that's when any time after that it can kind of get hairy.
Yes.
And storms can pop up, and these are serious storms today. They've been talking about it since last week. I want to mention this.
Okay.
And this is something I just read this morning, and I was kind of shocked about it, Scotty Ray.
What's that?
Did you know there's very few meteorologists female meteorologists that have ever worked for the National Weather Service or a weather service?
No.
And a girl posted this morning that she was the first female to issue a weather statement.
Really?
For the weather service.
Well.
Now that's different from, because they're the only ones that can actually issue.
Correct. Everybody else follows suit.
Everybody just follows suit. So when I first read it, I thought, no, there's tons of female meteorologists. But she was the first one that actually ever.
For the National Weather Service.
And that was today.
Yeah, that's neat.
Isn't that
Glad
crazy?
she done that. We're getting word that Smith County Schools will release at 12:30 today. Thank you, Margie. Also, that was Dr. Darcy's building that was hit in Collinsville is what we're finding out there. I might have had that mixed up.
I didn't know Dr. Darcy had a. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but I think they're forever.
Yeah.
We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to go over a few more things that are happening in the community. Don't rush off. We got a lot more to talk about.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Also getting word that Nanawaya School will be letting out at 11:50 today. Thank you, Karina, for letting us know about that one.
Yeah. Hey, I do want to bring up yesterday morning when we were on, a 80-year-old or maybe 86-year-old man was missing in the equipment area, had some medical issues, but they did find him.
Yeah, thank
So that's
heavens.
good. Yeah.
Had been, I think he'd been gone for several hours, disappeared somewhere around 11
In the
o'clock
middle
that
of the night. Yeah. Hey, Marcia says, love the Mardi Gras decorations.
We are prepared
Which
back
makes
here.
me remember, I got to take my Christmas decorations off my front porch.
You know, I would talk about you, but I noticed as I came up to the office this morning, there was a Christmas tree in the staircase.
You have you can't talk about anybody. I have to dodge 15 Christmas trees to get up.
We took the float apart and haven't put everything up. Me and floats, have mercy.
I just haven't taken mine down yet. I've got a Mardi Gras thing I need to put up.
Do that. Hey, let's talk about Marion. I don't know what's going on in Marion, but y'all think that it's okay to share all your gasoline. Yet again, last night, authorities had to show up. Once again, another gas spill in downtown Marion. This is like over and over as we look at this of the cleanup. At least 30 gallons of fuel was dumped onto the ground last night at the CEFCO.
So I wonder what happened. Like, does it just come out of the...
Well...
The hose falls out? Or
no, they will leave it in the vehicle with it clicked and running and then walk off. And the next thing you know, it jumps out and gas is everywhere. Front row.
I'm bad about that.
Yeah, so watch that. It's never a good idea to leave the vehicle. It's okay to do it, but don't rush off because it can cause some issues there.
Union will dismiss at 11:30.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go back in history. And this is one of those things where you think, if I ever write the president, he won't pay attention to me. Well, it happened on this date in 1861. This little girl that was 11 years old wrote a letter to Abe Lincoln. And she goes, "You look a little rough." And she goes, "I highly suggest if you were to wear a beard, it would make you look smarter." And Abe was going along on the train in the little town that she was from, and he goes, "Stop the train. I want to meet this little girl." And so it began. As she wrote that letter, he would start growing a beard after this.
And he did.
Yeah, it did help his looks.
What does he look like without a beard?
Oh, he was homely. He was homely. He was very lucky to even get Mary Todd.
To get Mary Todd.
And let me tell you, she was rough, too.
I was going to say.
I mean, you had to sneak up on her.
Oh, Abe.
But Abe had all that planned. She had a lot of political influence. And I'm not saying that's why he married her. I'm just saying it didn't hurt his cause when he ran for president.
What year did Abe Lincoln die?
1865, April. There at Ford's Theater.
I went to Ford's Theater. I went there.
Do you believe in the curse of King Tut?
I don't even know what the curse is.
It was everybody that was there when they opened the door that bad things happened to them.
Yeah.
And, well, it was on this date that they did all of that, to where they opened up the tomb and looked inside and found all the gold.
And did bad things happen?
Most everybody, if you go back and read history of the curse, each one of them died a agony
Wouldn't you
death.
love to see that?
Yeah. And there's still, to this day, y'all, many forms of this still buried over there that they don't know exist.
Yeah.
Underground, somewhere in a pyramid. 1935, you remember him from I Got You, Babe.
I got you, babe.
Sonny Bono was born on this date back in 1935, who would go on from Sonny and Cher and become a congressman.
Did you watch the Sonny and Cher show?
Yes.
Remember, it was a variety show.
Yeah.
Everybody watched it.
That's all we had.
That's all we had.
And she was
It was so
always
good.
so much taller than him. It made him look so little.
She was so pretty. I always thought, I got to see Cher in Las Vegas, I don't know, about 10 years ago. It was so good.
What was the song that she had when I was a kid about
Cherokee people.
That's it? Cherokee what?
Cherokee people.
Yeah.
Cherokee tribe.
There you go.
So hard to live.
She knows all the words still.
I don't know if that's the
1951.
words.
I'm going to say this guy's name. You're going to go, who? Yeah, you won't know who
I
he
remember
is
this.
until I show you his picture. A guy named William Catt.
Sing
I've
the
never heard
song.
of him.
Greatest American hero.
Y'all remember him?
There was a song that went with it. Yeah.
Saturday mornings, he was it, the greatest American hero. And he'd jump right out of that motorhome and fly. Bless his heart.
I do remember. How long was that show, I wonder?
I don't think it
remember
lasted but 2 or 3 years, but it was a cool
big back
song,
then.
yeah. And didn't the song make it to the radio?
Yeah, it was a big hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me now, I can fly.
What is that?
I was trying to remember the words
Them
there.
right.
Somebody knows all the words to that.
Yeah.
I was not a guy that watched this sport. We did have a tennis court in Scuba at one time. We didn't know what to do with it. We'd drive by and stare at it occasionally. But John McEnroe was born on
He
this
was
date in
so
59.
famous for being so bad. Remember, he would throw big fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't help himself.
Yeah. And he was married to, help me out, people.
I couldn't tell
He
you.
was married to somebody famous.
Really?
John McEnroe, and I'll look it up.
1965, this would be her first appearance of Can We Talk? And she sat down with Johnny Carson on this night, and it was her first appearance there as Joan Rivers made her debut on the Johnny Carson show.
Mike and I went to see her in Memphis at Mud Island 100 years ago.
How did all of that get started with Can We Talk? You remember that was
Can
her
we talk?
big...
She was good, and she did that when we watched her show. She just made me laugh. She was hilarious.
You got your answer there.
Gypsies. He was married to Tatum O'Neal.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
We got some smart folks that remember things.
Thank you, Sheila. And then that's the other Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. Telephone people.
Oh, see, I thought it was gypsies, tramps, and I won't say that word, but
Thieves.
No, I thought it was another word.
What word?
No, I'm not going to say
it out
that. I
loud.
cannot
What does
say
it
that
start
word.
with?
No, I cannot.
What is it?
It'd be
What's
another.
the first letter?
Depend on how you spelled it.
I don't know what you're saying.
It'd be akin to a rake. See,
You are
I'm just so keeping this
you're
to
like
myself.
12 years old.
But I always thought it was that word. I just had it wrong.
Tater O'Neal.
Tater O'Neal. 1968, and this is so hard to believe that it's really only been this long because we're trained and we know to grab a phone and do this now. But it was 1968 that it began on this date. And everybody going, why do I want to dial 911?
Right. I was 7.
Yeah.
So, and it probably wasn't even in our area yet because every area didn't have 911.
It was big cities.
But I remember when we were young, if you had like a fire or you had anything, you called the operator. And my mom, when she had to go to work, my parents divorced when I was 12 and she had to go to work. And we were there to tend to everybody.
Yeah.
And we would call the operator and tell on the other kids. Like we would call the operator and say, my brother drank all the orange juice. Or,
Right.
And they go, well, honey, you need to call your mom.
And then one day we woke up and the operator was gone. Kind of like that little
Where
greasy
is the
guy.
operator? What was the last year of having an operator?
I don't know, but
missed that.
Bell South used to employ so many people, and that little lady was always there, especially if you had to call collect somewhere.
Mike's mom worked for Bell South. And then
It was a great place to work.
But I remember, you would call the operator for a phone number.
Yep. Operator. And Jim Croce even wrote a song about it. Operator. Could you help me?
Then
please?
would you call like 411? No, what would you call?
That was
You called
information.
something, I know, to get a phone number.
Right. But
Was that information?
Yeah, that was information. But you just typically dial 0 just to talk to somebody. Look, somebody,
Cherokee
Tracy,
Nation.
Tracy,
Oh, you're right.
Tracy remembers the words there to the world's greatest American hero.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
Never
That's the way
thought
it
it'd
goes.
feel
Never
so
thought
free.
it would feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. I can't
Who
sing
could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
411. We're all over the place, but 411 is you called 411 to say, "Hey, I need to get Scotty Ray Boyd's phone number."
Right.
And that's
And
how
I don't
you
know
would
if
get
y'all
it.
remember that day that we all had to start putting the 662 and the 601 in front of numbers, and that just really confused people.
Yeah.
Area codes.
I wasn't here. You already had to do that.
It was a big day, and they just started making a movie out of this, Debbie, and it's turning out to be quite a hit. People like it. 1969. It was a love that would end, but a love that was so strong that still stands the test of time. George and Tammy got married on today.
Golden rings. No. Is that what it was?
That's what it was. In a pawn shop in Toledo.
Directory assistant. That's what it was called. I'm sorry.
Well, now we know. Appreciate that. Everybody tells us such good information. I appreciate that. As we look at this, 2005, somebody was arrested. You know him. He's even got a restaurant
Why is that
downtown.
3 in there? Is that some kind of gang thing?
Yeah, well, that's what you would call a typo, Debbie. And yes, we have one. Kid Rock.
Arrest 3D.
He was punching somebody in a club that he shouldn't tell his mama that he was at.
At a DJ, he was punching a DJ at a strip club in Nashville, Tennessee. I bet it was on Printer's Alley.
Very well could be.
You know, they got rid of Printer's Alley. I mean,
It did.
yeah, that was all.
It disappeared.
That was where all the floozies,
Hung out.
or whatever you call it.
It was 2006 on this date that an old boy that you know that, well, he does partake of this occasionally. He just happened to be driving when he was partaking at this point. The guy that wrote The Little Girl, John Michael Montgomery, was arrested for a DUI on this day. Whoops.
Hate it for him.
This would be Eddie Montgomery's brother from Montgomery Gentry.
Yeah.
That's in
I
case.
like that song. Somebody said, do you remember elevator operators? I do. They had one at the 3-foot building, and you would have to crawl up into the elevator.
Also,
It only
Mark
stopped part of the way.
Rothenberg had one.
Yeah. Fun fact, y'all.
What?
The first 911 call was made in my hometown of Haleyville, Alabama, of all places. Check it out sometime. They have a festival a 911 festival in Haleyville. What is the date of that festival, Robert? Tell us. I'll try to make it to it. I'm always up for something strange like that.
Well, it was on this date in 2019. We don't know really what happened to Blake, of why he really disappeared. There's been lots of talk, lots of rumor, but she would remarry onto this date. We don't know his name, and who really cares? We just know he was a cop, as Miranda married a cop.
Let's see, what happened to Blake? I would be called Gwen Stefani.
Well, there was rumor that Miranda was the one that might have been causing the breakup, and then Blake went to see.
Well, when we saw Blake,
he was with Kat.
He was with Kat. And what happened to Kat?
Miranda came to visit.
Miranda.
Yeah.
So it all just kind of played out that way.
It sure did. That's a little update of what happened on this day in history. Thank y'all for adding to that. That made it a lot of fun of remembering back on some things that happened there. More to come at 7:42.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, Mississippi, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been operating for over 10 years and boasts over 30 vendors with a rotating inventory to fit that something you're looking for. Inventory is constantly updating, so there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located on 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
Jackson Flowers has been a part of the Meridian area for a little over 60 years now. Now, they've moved to a new location on Highway 19 North, just 2 miles north of Walmart. Maybe you're looking for that perfect Valentine gift, a dozen red roses. Maybe it's just a happy you need, live or artificial. No matter what the need is in your family, whether it's a birth to your time of need, Jackson Flowers is there for you. Drop in and visit with them again. Highway 19 North, just 2 miles north of Walmart. Jackson Flowers, for all your needs. Now, Chet's Paint and Body, you'll find them there in Center Hill, right there in the curve. 737-2961 from, well, accidents, they do happen. to little fender benders to a scratch. They do it all there. Well, there's major front end damage, or if it's something small, they'll do that. Maybe somebody ran a red light and tagged the side of your car. They can fix it. From a deer to any type of thing that happens, they're there for you. Put it back together and they'll get you rolling again. See Chat today. It's word of mouth. You'll find out why so many people use Chat. It's friendly service, the color matches, and the work is done right. See them today. Again, they're in Bailey. You'll find them there at Center Hill, Highway 495, 737-2961. That's the office. You can't miss it. Drop in and visit Chet, and you'll bump into a friend. What you got?
Hey, I would just want to say, Anita Flo said, I remember we had a party line the longest, went to make a call. Wait a minute. For the longest, went to make a call, and the neighborhood would be on the line with you. Look, we had a party line when I was growing up, when we lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I can remember, I wasn't really allowed to be on the phone back then that much, but I can remember my mom waiting for neighbors to get off the phone. Or I don't even know if they're neighbors, but it was like a 3 or 4 way party line.
They had that episode this week that I saw on Andy Griffith where the guy was passing through town and broke down and he needed to use the phone, but it was 2 little old ladies that talked for hours.
Oh, yeah.
And Andy said, you can't use it. And he goes, this can't be happening.
That's the way it was. I mean, you had to be courteous. And I don't know if there were, I guess if somebody hogged the phone, they just hogged the phone and you couldn't get on it. But then you would have other neighbors getting on the phone going, you need to get off the phone.
Didn't the sisters do that on the Waltons? Wasn't that a real common thing where they would talk?
But the thing about it is that was in the 60s, maybe early 70s. And look at where we have come.
Yes.
I mean, now everybody has
a $2,000 phone.
So you go from a party line to, remember one time we were doing a remote and I had my cell phone and this older man that owned the business, my cell phone rang. And this older man that owned the business picked up my phone and answered it, my cell phone.
Yeah.
And it was like, what does he do?
And in his world, you answered the phone when it rang.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It wasn't just personal to somebody. I just thought that we've come so far from
LaWanda says she remembers the 8 party line in Porterville, Mississippi.
8 people.
Woo,
that's 8
doggy.
households. That's not just 8 people. That's 8 households of people. If you had teenagers and they were trying to talk on the phone, of course you couldn't talk about anything.
No.
Because everybody would know. I mean, look, if I had a party line right now, you would never see me. I'd just be on that part. I'd be listening nonstop to everybody's
I learned something.
Yeah.
You would be
spreading all kinds of
You'd make a
rumors.
great Mrs. Olson, is what she did.
I would be like,
Prairie.
I would be telling everybody's business.
As we look at Louisville, Mississippi, as you remember, we talked about the 6 people that were shot. 1 person was killed. They have now upped it to 5 arrests. And again, they're all young individuals in their early teens and 20s that have been arrested.
Somebody said we've gone from party lines to Zoom calls.
Yes, we have. Major change
crazy?
there.
I know. Who would have ever thought it?
Let's see some other things that are happening. Vicksburg, they're looking at extending the curfew for the young people to where right now you can't go out after the 10 o'clock, age of 17, from 10 until 5 the next morning. I think they ought to keep it. Yeah. Maybe it's cutting back on a little bit of the crime there in that area.
We still have it, correct? Don't we?
Yes, but it's not enforced at all because
Well, I mean, I don't think they go out and actively try to find them, but I think if you're out and about and they see you,
they could do something.
Yeah, they could do something
if we had.
But I was terrified of that curfew when my girls were young because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Right.
I think it was on the parent.
It is. Shame on you there. Let's see. In Vicksburg, also somebody got in a fight. Somebody got shot in the hip. An 18-year-old did. Nothing like a good fight in that way.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, let's see here. Jackson, more and more crime just keeps taking the streets there. Let's see what else is happening here. 3 arrested in Hattiesburg.
That's scary. After a man was shot, he was shot. What is it?
I was reading the headline. After a man is shot and stabbed during a fight with his wife. She won. We just want y'all to know.
Wait a minute. 3 arrested after man shot at and stabbed during a fight with his wife.
Yeah.
So, did she do it?
Apparently, she commenced the shooting at him.
Who were the 3 people arrested?
I guess they were trying to help him. It didn't work out too well, but that's Hattiesburg. You never know what's going to happen down in Hattiesburg. What?
I mean, can I just move back to this party line thing?
What do you need to say?
Listen to this, Carl. I took the mouthpiece out where they couldn't hear, and I would listen to all. Met some nice people.
Yeah, you could
some
unscrew
good
that.
gospel. That's right.
And unplug it.
You know what it reminds me of? One time I wanted to skip school, and remember your phone's plugged in with that little thing. Your phone plugged into the wall, the cord, and I would take it out and put tape on it and stick it back in so the school couldn't call my mom.
Pretty slick.
And I got
not that you were.
But let me tell you,
skipping school.
I wasn't that slick because then my brother saw me out and about, and he told my mom, and it was bad. I never did anything that I didn't get caught.
Lily Tomlin, one ringy ding, two ringy ding. Was that a sound from a show she was in?
She would go, one ringy dingy, two ringy dingy. That was from which show was that? Laugh-In? Laugh-In?
That's a new one to me.
Yeah, she was an operator. She would have her hand like this. And she'd go, one ringy dingy. Yeah.
I'm learning something there. I see this. I've watched this show once or twice. The show to where you go on the Masked Singer. And did you see who was on there? Dick Van Dyke was the Masked Singer. He's 97 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
And he was revealed as the singer there.
And he sang?
Apparently so. Here's a clip of that.
He still looks good.
And you know what you really got to say about this guy is how many times
I love him
see
so
him
much.
out in public handing out cash to help those that are less fortunate. To this day, he'll go to the bank, get 5 or 20.
Really?
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
I see that all the time of him helping people.
Scotty Ray, just to end the whole phone thing.
What is it?
I just got to see if anybody knows this song.
What?
I rented my apartment on a Monday at 1 singing Ooh Lolly Lolly, Chicka Boom, Chicka Boom.
No, I don't know that one.
I started moving in on Tuesday at 2.
Maybe a Do Run Run Run?
No. If anybody remembers that song. I called the phone company. You don't know it?
Nuh-uh.
I think it was called the telephone song.
Oh, and then Connie had to bring up Rosanna Dana. I do know that.
Rosanna Dana.
Scotty Ray, Debbie, good morning to you. 10 minutes before the top of the hour, we'll go back over the weather and what to expect here in just a moment. Y'all don't rush off.
Crystal Andrews is located at Moon River Salon in North Hills. Crystal specializes in all things hair related, including all color services, Brazilian blowouts, keratin treatments, invisible bead tie-in extensions, perms, as well as the latest in cutting and style techniques. The ultimate goal is to bring out every individual's best self. In an atmosphere that is pleasant and relaxing, leave the stress of daily life behind and treat yourself in the best hair care. Book your appointments today at 601-938-9514.
Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales. Taking care of your car needs at 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
It's finally here, the Springtime Sweet Pea Swap, located at the old Jeffries Building at Bonita Lakes. Drop-offs February 23rd through February the 25th. Thursday, March 2nd, 5 to 9 p.m. is paid ticket holders pre-sale. Tickets are only $10 each. The public sale begins Friday, March the 3rd, 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. Saturday, March 4th, 10 to 7. Sunday, 25% off, 1 to 6 p.m. And Monday, March the 6th, 50% off, 10 until 7 p.m. It's the Spring Sweet Pea Swap at the old Jeffries Building by Bonita Lakes Mall. Sweet Pea Swap Shop will be here. That's a tough word to say there in just a little bit. That's right. Snowden & Company is there to help you when it comes to a home. They got so many to choose from, Deb. You can visit them online. You can take a look at it at snowdenrealestate.com. Drop by their office. Maybe you've seen a sign and you go, I'd like to see that. Well, you can look at it online or go in person. No matter the size, here's a bigger home. They've got them any size that you can choose from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You name it, on up. Tell them the specific size home you're looking for, and they'll find it for you. From simplicity to the most elegant, you name it, whatever chapter of your life you're in that you're after. From West Lauderdale out to Lake Ross Collins, they can help you there. drop in and visit with them. Snowden and Company. Again, that number to call is going to be right there, 416-2747, Poplar Springs Drive. See Amanda, any of her friendly staff there. They'll be glad to help you out with a home to get you going. Get yours listed. See them today. They'll be glad to help you.
Good morning. It's Thursday already.
It is.
Almost Friday. Hey, it was the telephone man. A few people. It was I rented my apartment on a Monday at 1 singing ooh la 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 shake it push it. Anyway, the story is she called the telephone company. The telephone man shows up, and I really think, but see, I was really young when this came out, and I didn't realize until I'm like going back over the words again. I think she had a fling with the telephone man because, yeah, and I used to know every single word to it, and I used to sing that song all the time. But anyway, at some point she said, then my fingers did the walking on the telephone man. So
there you go. And Anita brought it up to where, do you remember when somebody wouldn't get off the phone, you could pay an extra quarter and have the operator to interrupt the call and go, hey, we really need... I forgot about that.
I forgot about that, too.
As we look at radar this morning, let's pull this up. And again, we do have severity of weather today. This is what radar currently looks like. So far, everything is calm. We do have a little bit of rain starting to pop up out to our west between Ruston, Louisiana, and Shreveport as this goes up. And we follow this into Tennessee here. We're a little bit more serious of weather, and some flooding has taken place, but no major warnings at this point. Again, it's going to be mild for quite some time. It will be after 11 o'clock when things start to pick up and become, well, risque for us with tornadic activity. We'll be here behind the scenes the entire day watching this for you to give you the up-to-date, most level weather that you can get. That didn't make sense.
You lost me at risque weather.
Yeah, when the weather
not
turns,
risque weather.
It's risky.
Telephone Man song was risque.
Okay.
This is going to be risky weather. It's going to be severe. We might joke a little bit right now, but it is very severe. Pay attention. Tune in to Scotty Ray Report. He'll have everything for you. And you do have a list that's on your Facebook page of all the closings. I think it's on your website as well. So if you need to know of any early closings or all-day closings, just go to the website.
And one of the last things I wanted to mention before we got off this morning, a Hollywood legend was lost yesterday as we found out Raquel Welch passed away at the age of 82.
I hate that. I love her, but she lived a great, long life.
She did.
One of my favorite things that she said was, I don't want to be a size 0. I'd rather enjoy my pasta and wine.
Well, there you go.
And she had the iconic figure.
She did.
Remember, she wore she is what, and that was before plastic surgery.
Yes.
0 plastic surgery, iconic figure, and she was not a size 0. She had a great voluptuous figure, but she also was the first person to ever wear a fur bikini.
She was, and we all liked it. I think I want to go get a poster now.
I mean, you should. That poster right there.
Yes. Thank y'all for being a part of this. We'll be here behind the scenes today tracking the weather for you. Scotty Ray and Debbie, and we say a big thank you to each and every one of you for dropping by today.
Thank you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.